Hi, I'm Julia Overton Healy, and I'm the Director for Career Services at St. John Fisher College. Today, I'm going to give you top 5 tips for things related to career readiness. I'm going to talk about career direction, resumes, job and internship strategies, interviewing, and networking. First, career direction. When you think about your career, try to think about industries rather than an outcome of your major. With the exception of a few programs such as accounting, nursing, or teaching, your major in college is less about preparing you for a specific job and more about preparing you for a variety of jobs. Employers really want critical thinkers, people who communicate well, people who know how to take leadership and contribute to a team. You'll get all of that through your Fisher education. So think about the type of work you really want to do and where you want to bring your best skills. For example, maybe you love to do research, and that's great. You could do that for the government, for school districts, even for a PR firm. Or maybe you're thinking nonprofit would be an area of interest for you. That's a huge industry sector, and they hire people from virtually every academic major at Fisher. Or maybe you're thinking energy conservation appeals. They don't hire just scientists, they also hire history majors, marketing, and English majors. So my point is, when you start to look at jobs on job boards like Indeed and Handshake, start with industry as your first search filter and see what you can discover. Number 2, resumes. I know a lot of people use templates, and I think that that's a mistake. I understand why templates are attractive. They're easy and quick, but they don't do what a resume should do, which is to communicate your unique value to an employer. Templates are generic, and you aren't. Why would you want a document that looks like everybody else? So learn how to craft a resume that presents your best skills and transferable knowledge to an employer. Besides, employers, generally speaking, they really don't like templates. And when you apply for jobs using an online application system, a lot of those systems don't read templates well. So come to CCAP, the Center for Career and Academic Planning, and we'll help you learn how to write a resume so that you never rely on a template again. Number 3, job and internship searches. Just like I said earlier about think industry, the same applies here. Think about industries where you want to work and then follow companies in that industry on LinkedIn. Look for alumni who work at those companies. And then you can really start to understand what that industry is all about and the trends that are involved with it. And when you're doing a job or an internship search, don't just look at the job titles, actually read the job descriptions. Employers spend a lot of time writing those descriptions, and that will give you a better sense of how to write your targeted resume, not a template, and your cover letter so that you can show how you match that job description. Posting your resume is not a job search. It's a task as part of a job search. You can get more help from CCAP and also check out the networking and job search guide inside Handshake's resources section, where you'll also find a couple of free tools for you. One's called Career Shift and the other is Vault, and they're both really helpful. Number 4, interviewing. I know, it can be pretty nerve-wracking to sit in an interview and answer a bunch of questions knowing you're being judged on everything from your shoes to how you use the language. Here's the thing though, if you think about an interview more like a conversation and not an inquisition, you'll feel a little bit better. And get ready for behavior-based interview questions. These are the questions that ask you to explain a situation or give an example from your past, because a lot of employers think that's a predictor of your future behavior. So prepare stories, real ones, not hypotheticals, about ways that you've worked on a team, or how you assumed leadership and kept a team motivated, or how did you resolve a conflict with somebody or learn how to work with somebody who was completely different. If you think about 4 or 5 examples that you can use, then you'll feel more confident about your answers. And always try to organize your answers using the STAR framework, S-T-A-R. S or T stands for the situation or task that you were assigned, so explain the context. A stands for action, what did you do and how did you do it? And R stands for the results. What was the outcome and what did you learn from that experience? When you develop a STAR answer, you'll be a STAR interviewer. 5, networking. Okay, yeah. I know, sometimes these feel really artificial and manipulative. You go to some event, you introduce yourself, you do your elevator pitch, you collect a business card, and repeat. And if you're like me, with a preference for introversion, these can be pretty exhausting. But you need to know how to interview well. 80% of all jobs are filled through a networking contact, not a job posting. It's an essential skill. Luckily, Fisher has some amazing alumni and employer partners who really enjoy networking with students and helping you get better at it. Networking can feel less icky if you remember to ask how, why, and what when you're talking with a seasoned professional. Ask things like, how did you get started in your career? Why do you think your industry is a good one to be looking at? What advice would you give somebody like me just starting out? Generally, people love to talk about their work, so turn a networking conversation into something you learn from, not just get a business card from. Okay, that's it. Those are my top 5 tips on career stuff. Think industry, no templates, get a strategy for your job or internship search, tell your stories, and seek information from a professional. I've got a lot more advice and a lot more expertise and knowledge to share with you, and I'd love to talk with you about your career plans and help you on your way. You can email me directly, or you can find me on Handshake and book an appointment with me through that system. Careers and meaningful work are really important, and that's why you need to develop strong competencies and skills to help you toward finding happy work. I'm here to work with you, and I look forward to it. Bye.